Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jason Williams, and I'm with my tag team partner, Blake Castetter, and we are the Sunday Funday guys. Blake, week 7, brother, week 7. Craziness.
Off to a great start, aren't we?
Speak for yourself.
Oh,
What do you mean great start? Define great start.
sorry. Week 7's off to a great start.
Oh, yeah. Bengals, Thursday
Big,
night.
yep.
Yeah, you were there.
And then if we really want to dig into it, fantasy football, you and I are going head to head.
Yeah.
It's all off to a great start.
I guess that's what happens when you get egg on your face 2 weeks in a row. It might come back to bite me eventually, right?
It might.
Right.
And then don't get me wrong. I mean, I got bumped out of our guillotine league this past week.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. I was trying to be nice. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, so I kind of forgot about that. Some of us are still in it to win it, but well, Fanatics, we got a lot to go over. I mean, there's a lot of things either going on week 7 or talking about the future. Blake will get into that later in the segment, but we got some things that are brewing for next week in terms of buys, and we'll get into that. But let's get into some news and notes, Blake, about either week 6 or we're going into week 7. Let's talk about some things.
Yeah, last week was another big week in the NFL. I mean, Denver's defense basically made Justin Fields non-existent. 76 total yards from scrimmage, Jason. Passing and rushing.
Yeah.
I know he was my sit of the week last week at the quarterback spot.
Right.
But holy cow, I did not see that coming.
Bad.
Anybody that placed any bets on Justin Fields for overs lost on every single topic. I don't care how low you went. You can't go low enough to get 11 rushing yards and
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Class. I mean, we can't. I mean, yeah, we don't. Bad. It's bad. The Jets are atrocious on every
they're
level.
a mess.
They're a mess. Yes.
Rams, they struggled early on, but they didn't pull it away.
Yep.
Puka's out, though, expected to miss multiple weeks with an ankle. Carolina's backfield has gotten really muddy.
Oh, yeah.
Dowdle, 239 yards last week. That was your start of the week at the running back position. And then
good.
Hubbard expected back this week. Who do you like there?
Man, I think you got to ride the hot hand.
How could you not?
Right. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you spell Dowdell. Maybe I say Hubbard. I mean, I think they should ease him back in, maybe 10 carries, but I think Dowdell should get the majority of carries. I think it should be 80-20 split.
I mean, he put up more points and more yards in 2 games than Hubbard did all season.
Correct. Now, I'm not the smartest guy, but if I'm a coach and I need to win, I'm putting the guys out there that's going to give me the best opportunity to win. And Rico Dowdle over the last 2 weeks has been the best fantasy running back in the league. I mean, who would have thought
and
that?
They're on a 2-game win streak, aren't they?
Yeah, imagine that. Something to be said about that. But I'm no coach.
Chargers did hold off the Dolphins last week. Ladd McConkey did have that bounce back we expected, going for 101. We do have, it looks like QJ is going to play again this week. He's trending that way. What we didn't see coming was Vidal leading the backfield. Everyone expected Haskins to be the one, and then it was Vidal.
Yeah, all indications, even on Sunday, was like, okay, Hassan Haskins is going to get the carries. Vidal will spell him every once in a while, but that did not happen.
Nope.
To the tune of 124 yards rushing against the Dolphins?
I mean, we expected him to be able to run the ball because the Dolphins can't stop the run, but wow.
Yeah, I know. Totally unexpected.
Baker carved up the Niners. Again, Baker just continues to perform. It doesn't matter who's out there. He was without his top 3 wide receivers and his starting running back.
Amazing.
He's still pulled it out.
Everybody says he's the MVP, and you can't really deny that.
He's playing lights out right now.
Exactly.
And then Chiefs and Mahomes, they're steady. Patty went 257 and 3 and added on a rushing touchdown. Like you said, is Patty Mahomes back?
Well, he gets Rashid Rice back this week, so
he does.
I think that as much as it pains me to say it, and we say it every year, watch out for the Chiefs because they're coming. I mean,
this year they're putting up offense. Last 2 years, it's been heavily predicated on defense.
Right. Exactly.
And then Thursday night football, Cincinnati Bengals, holy freaking Joe Flacco. Check out this nugget I found. In 2 games, 550 or more passing yards, 5 or more passing touchdowns, 0 INTs, 60+ completions, and over a 65% completion percentage. This has never been done by any player in NFL history in their first 2 games with a single team.
Amazing.
And Joe Flacco's 40.
Correct. Let's not forget that, people. He's 40. Like he was probably still in an ice bath today.
I am loving all of the Mike Tomlin replays and memes and everything about him being upset with the Browns trading their opening day starting quarterback to the Bengals. Like, you could have let the Bengals drown.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think the Steelers-Bengals rivalry, as we all know, is one of those like hate relationships. There's no love hate. It's just outright hate. And Mike Tomlin's his record in the division on Thursday nights is what, 0-8 now? 0-7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
0-7.
That's a little bit of a nugget too. But the Bengals, hey, it's amazing what happens when you have a good quarterback. That's why I tell people I don't care on what any level. I don't care if it's little league. I don't care if it's high school. I don't care if it's college or the pros. If you don't have a quarterback, you will not win, period. You just won't. You know that, coach. Oh, goodness. Well, it's time. Well, thanks, Blake, for the recap of again, crazy week 6. Now we're getting into week 7. Starts and sits. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go with Mr. Drake May, playing out of his mind the last, 3 weeks, month. You can make the argument he's playing the best out of any quarterback, including Baker and Patrick Mahomes. You can make an argument. In his last 3 games, Blake, Drake May has a passer rating of 155. Do you know what the score for a perfect passer rating is, Blake? You know what that number is?
Just above 155?
158.3. So what we're saying is Drake May is damn near perfect over the last 3 weeks. 583 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 70% completion percentage. Oh, by the way, Blake, guess who they got this week? The Titans in the Mike Vrabel Bowl. Obviously, Mike Vrabel being the coach of the Titans several years ago. The Titans D is good, but I'm riding the Pats. They're hot, and Drake May is even hotter. Look for him to continue doing what he's been doing over the last 3 weeks. This week against a pretty good Titans D, who will be amped up to play their old coach.
I don't think their Titans D is that good.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
I mean, their run D certainly isn't.
Yeah. Okay. Then it makes this pick even better.
I agree.
Yeah. Yep. Who you got?
Bo Nix.
Oh.
Mr. Bo Nix. QB like 28 in points per game.
Okay.
So he is low. His average points per game. The sophomore slump has definitely been real for Bo.
Yeah.
He's only scored 20 plus in one of his last 4 games. So why am I picking Bo Nix as a start of the week this week when there are players above him that are scoring more points on a per game basis? And I'm saying you should bench them in favor of Bo Nix. Tua, Jackson Dart, Danny Dimes, Justin Fields, Sam Darnold. All of these players are averaging more points per game throughout the season than Bo Nix. But I believe in Bo this week. He's heading back home, and Nix has historically performed much better at home than on the road. Sounds familiar with Jared Goff, sure. Averaging 26 points or more over 10 contests. This week, he's got a contest with Brian Daboll and the Giants. And you know Daboll loves to bring the blitz. You see it coming. He likes to go single high, leave man coverage outside. But any guesses who does well against pressure?
Bo Nix.
The Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
They've allowed only a 27.4% pressure rate and only 4 sacks. Wow. In the entire season.
Wow.
Both number 1 in the NFL by a lot.
That's a crazy stat. That's low.
Right.
Wow.
So I think Bo Nix is the top 10 quarterback this week and should be in all starting lineups.
So I have him. I'm starting him this week. I have him. So you're telling me start? No. In another league. Don't worry.
I started to panic for a second.
In our league? I don't know. Do I? No, I don't. No, I don't. I got Jerry Goff. Anyway, I digress. So you're saying Yeah, so you're saying in the league I'm talking about, I have Bo Nix. You're saying starting with confidence.
And who else?
Jordan Love.
Yeah, I'd go Bo Nix.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take your advice, Sunday Fun Day guy. Um, let's go over the sits of the week. Well, I mean, this is probably a slam dunk after last week, but I'm going to double down on it because it was such a bad performance that there's no way you can't have him in your lineup at all, in my opinion, for the rest of the year. That's how I feel. But somehow he's the number 10 ranked quarterback this week on ESPN. Blake, I don't understand it.
Who?
Justin Fields.
Oh,
Yeah. How many more chances is Justin Fields going to get? I mean, he's been through the ringer. Like, we're getting to the point where maybe the book is out on Justin Fields, to be honest with you. Maybe he's just not that good of a quarterback in terms of being able to read defenses and get the ball out on time. We thought this will be the year Fields lives up to that potential we see every once in a while, but that's not been the case. His QBR this year, Blake, is 35.7, ranking him 31st in the league. Obviously, to your point last week, sacked 9 times against the Broncos. His current QBR is the worst since his rookie year when it was 31.4. The bottom line is, folks, there are way better options. You know, the whole rushing thing is with him is overrated because he just can't pass the ball. He's just essentially a glorified running back playing quarterback. So I think this experiment may be coming to an end sooner than later if he doesn't start performing well. So my advice to you is not to play Justin Fields whatsoever until he shows somewhat of a consistent passing whatever. Like, he's just not there.
Who's he going to throw the ball to this week?
Oh, that's right. Garrett Wilson's out for a few weeks. Yeah, I have no idea. Mason Taylor.
Who else?
Breece Hall.
His wide receiver 1 this week? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah. That's all you need to say. So, yeah, sit Justin Fields. You're up, buddy.
I mentioned my sit of the week already. It's Sam Darnold. He has been playing very well. He scored 24 or more points in the past 2 weeks, has scored 18 plus in his last 5 games. But the teams he's faced have been not DeMeco Ryans' defense, including the Saints, the Bucks, the Jags. So he's been able to expose those defense. This week, you got Ryans coming into town with the Texans. Number 1 in fewest points allowed to QBs, averaging only 9.4 points a game.
Wow.
Only one quarterback all season has exceeded 15 points in a game against them. And they haven't allowed a 250-yard passer or a passing touchdown since week 2. That was Baker Mayfield. Wow. Fresh off a bye, Houston's defenses. I would have managed expectations for all.
JSN?
I would have managed expectations for JSN. I think he comes back to reality today or this week.
Yeah.
And I don't think Walker or Charbonnet are strong plays either.
Ooh, no.
And definitely not AJ Barner.
No. Yeah. I mean, JSN is the only guy you're considering this week.
In my opinion. I mean, you could probably flex Walker, but I don't know what that split share is going to be with Charbonnet. Charbonnet hasn't looked good, but they continue to give him more touches.
Exactly. Yeah, this week, you don't want to mess with that running back, those running backs at all. Like, you got better options on the waiver wire. You're better off with a Michael Carter or somebody like that, or that Arizona backfield. This week with the Seattle, I would stay far, far away from it. Yeah. That's a good nugget, man. That's a good nugget. Your running back start of the week? You got 2.
Mine? 2.
Yeah, 2.
I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't know which one's going to hit the home run, but someone's going to have a big day, in my opinion, from the Patriots backfield. The Titans' run defense is not good. Ashton Genty got 86 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown last week against them. And if you missed our pick 6 last week, let me review. Tennessee has allowed a rushing touchdown in all 6 games, at least 1. I updated it. Michael Carter, Kyler Murray, Bam Knight, Woody Marks, Jonathan Taylor had 3, Puka had 1, Corum had 1, J.K. Dobbins had 1, and Ashton Genty had 1. Like I said before, these aren't necessarily the who's who of running backs. So if you have either one of these backs, whether it be Henderson or Stevenson, both of them are probably going to eat this week. It's hard to pick one. Stevenson, like I said, really hasn't looked great. He's getting the job done.
Right.
Henderson hasn't had a single explosive play yet this season.
Could be this game.
One. Correct.
Could be this game. This could be a coming out party.
So I don't know which one's going to get it, but both might eat. I mean, the Patriots are favored. It might be a positive game script as well, and that they start handing the rock off at the end just to run the clock out. Lots of carries. We'll see. I like both backs, though, this week.
Yeah, we had a question on our fantasy advice page about Stevenson, and we both recommended that person start Stevenson over. I don't remember Kelsey. Yes. Oh yeah, I think that was an easy decision.
I mean, he's going to get carries, and he probably is going to get a touchdown.
Yeah. Yep. Both Patriots running backs definitely
are in play this week
for sure. My start of the week is
you stole mine. That's what it was going to be, and then I logged in, and you already had it loaded.
Yes. Listen,
he's going to eat this week.
Yeah, I'm happy that we think alike for the most part. So this makes me this warms my heart, buddy. My start of the week is Quinshon Judkins for the Cleveland Browns. He's RB number 10 this week. Obviously, we've heard about his issues off the field. Now we finally get to see what he can do all on the field. Before last week's dud against the Steelers, Judkins had tallied 110, 82, 94, and 61 yards rushing, averaging almost 17 carries a game. Now with a rookie quarterback at the helm, you would think the Browns would want to run the ball. That would make sense, correct? Right. Well, they get the Miami Dolphins this week. The same Miami Dolphins team that 2 weeks ago let Rico Dowdle run for 208 yards and last week let Kiami Vital run for 124 yards. There's a precedent there. Again, not much needs to be said after that. Start Quinshon with the utmost confidence this week, potentially, maybe top 5 running back status. Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, he's an RB1 without question. He might push top 5.
Yeah.
If he gets into the end zone, he's going to get enough touches that might put him in top 3.
Yeah, and I think Cleveland would be smart just to keep the under 20 passes for, Gabriel. I think they threw the ball. They threw the ball way too much against the Steelers defense. I think if you keep them 20 to 25 passes, you run the ball 20 to 25 times. That's an equal split. You got to think Judkins is going to get the majority of those carries, so he could be in line for a big day. Again, Cleveland's offensive line is good. Miami's defense is not good against the run. I mean, there's never a layup slam dunk, but this is about as close as you can get.
I mean, the Chargers did what they did with a player that came off the practice squad without Joe Alt.
Right. Exactly.
So we're saying a better offensive line in the Browns without question.
Yep.
And a higher tier running back.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense to everybody. Should make sense. Sit of the week. Oh, look at you.
I'm staying with the Tennessee Patriots game.
Fair enough.
I think Tony Pollard should be sat this week. They got a new head coach. Tajay Spears is continuing to take on a bigger role in the backfield the past 2 weeks. Hasn't really done much with it, but continues to get more carries. With the new head coach, we don't know what that's going to be, what they're going to do, what changes are they going to make, right? Last week, Pollard only played 43% of the snaps against Las Vegas. And then there's the matchup with the Patriots. They've allowed the 7th fewest points to running backs. 0 running backs have rushed for 50 yards. Not a single one.
Wow.
And they've only allowed 3 touchdowns total to running backs this year. That's on the ground and through the air. And don't forget, like you said, this is a Vrabel Bowl. He's coming back to town. It's a statement game for him. I would stay away from both Tennessee running backs, but especially Pollard.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots have always been good against the run. It's always kind of been a staple of their defense. I don't see that changing this week. And again, to your point about the Vrabel Bowl, I think, he's pissed that he got fired, and it could get ugly real quick in Tennessee, real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stay away from everybody associated with the Tennessee Titans offensively.
I agree.
Which isn't saying much, but that's why we're here. Like, we're here to give you some advice. You choose to do whatever you want with it, fans, but that's what we're doing.
Sometimes it's obvious.
Real obvious. My sit of the week is a guy that I was very high on early in the year, Alshon Jeanty. He's number 12 this week, Blake. So far this year, I don't think he's lived up to his high draft pick status. And I had him ranked high in the preseason, thought he would do better. Only 100-yard game so far. And you might ask, why the struggles for Jeanty? Well, it starts and stops with the offensive line. And I got a few stats for you, buddy.
Let's go.
The Raiders' offensive line ranks 22nd in run-pass win rate, 28th in pressure rate against the blitz, and 28th overall, even after a win against the Titans. So what that's telling me is they're not very good. And if they're not very good, the running back doesn't eat. And who do the Raiders have this week? The Chiefs, a notorious team that's notorious in stopping the run. Chris Jones and his boys must be drooling after hearing the stats I just told you. Jeanty is a flex, and at best a low-end RB2 this week against the Chiefs, but nothing more. I mean, I don't think he gets in the end zone. I whatever's under is, I haven't looked at it, but I would strongly consider the under against the Chiefs.
I was very confused to see Jeanty ranked so high.
Yeah.
In this week's rankings.
I was too. Like, they're going against the Chiefs with that terrible offensive line. I mean, stats. Yeah. And Geno Smith. No. And what receiver scares you? I don't know if Brock Bowers is playing. I mean, nobody's like, what, Trey Tucker? Come on, man. They're in trouble. Like, he's in trouble this week. Like, yeah, I don't definitely sit him.
All right. You want to move on to wide receivers?
Yeah, let's do it. My start of the week at wide receiver is, he's one of those guys that every year he kind of gets slept on because the offense or the team may not be very good around him. And you're thinking, well, the team quarterback, they don't have a quarterback, this, and that. But all of a sudden, he's in the mix for like top 10, top 15 wide receiver status. It's Chris Olave. When he's been healthy, he's produced, and this year's no different. He's averaging almost 11 targets a game. I mean, anytime you get double-digit targets, you have an opportunity to produce. Couple more stats on Mr. Olave. 2nd in targets, 6th in routes run, 5th in red zone targets among wide receivers. So what is that telling me? There's opportunities to get points, whether that be touchdowns or just sheer volume. And the Bears allow the fourth most fantasy points to wide receivers. I said I like this matchup. I love this matchup this week against the Bears. And again, I'll get into the Bears-Saints game a little later, but I think Coach Olave is an excellent start this week against the Bears for sure.
I'd second that. I also saw an interesting stat, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember it, but
that's okay.
I think Spencer Rattler is doing a great job of taking care of the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning he has thrown if I remember correctly, the fewest interceptions in the league. But it's not for a lack of attempts.
No, he's slinging the ball.
I know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like, Spencer Rattler, this obviously the Saints will be looking for a quarterback, but at least you know what you got. And a guy that's, he plays well. It's just they've come up short on a couple of occasions. Yeah.
They have been in games. I mean,
all
the first few weeks they were in
the Bills
games that we expected them to lose, and they kept it close.
Exactly.
My wide receiver start of the week is not one that I'm typically excited about. He has to date been boom or bust through his career. In fact, I ended up with him in my league of record.
Yes.
Wasn't excited to draft him, but he was best on the board by far. Jameson Williams, second touchdown of the season last week against the Chiefs. Season high 6 catches. Maybe the Lions are onto something. Maybe it was a boomer bust kind of week. This week they got the Bucs, and like you said, there's going to be a lot of throwing. The Bucs aren't stopping anybody in the passing game. They got Vita Vea that stops the running game. So the only thing they're going to have success with, they do have Gibbs and Monty, but they are going to have success throwing the ball. They might not have as much success running the ball. 3 wide receivers, though, against the Bucs have scored 12.9 PPR points or higher in the past 2 games. Last year, Williams 5 catches on 11 targets and 79 yards against the Bucs in week 2. I know it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But another stat point. With the over-under being 52.5 points, I see this game going the same way Vegas does. Lots of scoring, and I think it's a safe play. Jameson at wide receiver 28, he could blow that out of the water.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's so low. But I'm a big Jameson Williams fan. But
know
you're
you
right.
are.
He is boom or bust. And he's been more bust than boom. But to your point, this week could be the boom. And if he booms, when he booms, he booms. So
he does.
Definitely a guy to consider starting or putting in your lineup this week against, again, the Bucs. We've talked about the Bucs secondary for the last year and a half, and they're still not very good. And to your point, between Vegas and what we think in the game script, there's going to be a lot of throwing. There's going to be a lot of offense on the field. There's going to be weapons everywhere. It's a Monday night game, I believe, so or Sunday night game, one of those two, and they'll be giving the people what they want, which is a lot of scoring, for sure.
With or without Evans, Baker's going to put up points. He's proven.
Tez Johnson. That's who he's throwing to now. Tez Johnson and Sterling Shepard and Chris Godwin, who's hurt, and me and you could run some routes out there. Baker can find us. Oh goodness. I got an interesting. Let's go into the sits, man. I got an interesting one, and people are going to be like, "Are you kidding me right now?" My sit of the week is George Pickens. Yes, I'll say it again. My sit of the week is George Pickens. After the month or several weeks George Pickens has had, how in the world could I sit him this week? Well, here's my rationale. I think he's still a good play, but I think his stats will take a dip this week because CD is back, Turpin is back, and obviously Dak likes to spread the ball around. So this is more of a gut feel. I don't really have a lot of obviously stats to back it up. He's played out of his mind. I'll give Pickens credit. Like he's been one of the top receivers in the league the first month and a half. He's a solid start, but I would temper my expectations this week for sure with CD and Turpin coming back, and obviously having Ferguson and a host of weapons. And Dak's been on fire, so I think he wants to get CD the ball early. CD's back; he's the number one. So I think Pickens will do okay, but I just think we won't see the 20-point, 25-point games we've seen over the last couple of weeks from him.
I mean, unless CD is a distraction and that's it.
Yeah.
He's literally just out there running routes and they're not throwing him the rock. I don't see how Pickens keeps it up with CD back.
Yeah.
I think Jake Ferguson might take a hit too.
I was going to put that in there. I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm going to Carolina for my sit of the week with T-Mac. And my rationale is don't chase the points. He did have a good week last week-ish.
Yeah.
Last week was an obvious play. Like you had to play him. Yet he only ended up with 3 catches for 29 yards. What saved his day were the 2 touchdowns he got.
Right.
This week he's got the Jets, who have allowed the 7th fewest points to wide receivers, which with how many points they've given up as a team.
That's amazing.
It's fascinating. They've allowed so many points, but from a fantasy points perspective, 7th fewest to wide receivers. He's going to have a significantly tougher matchup this week, especially if he's faced up against Sauce Gardner. And as you would expect with a healthy Sauce Gardner, number 1 wide receivers for each team have struggled. He isn't the shutdown corner he was year 1 and early into year 2 prior to his injury. He has allowed some touchdowns, but those that scored touchdowns had a solid QB.
Right.
T-Mac has Bryce Young.
Right.
So I don't think he's a safe start this week. I don't even know. Maybe a flex play, like a wide receiver 4.
Maybe. Yeah.
But you got to temper your expectations. This week it's going to be tough points to come by.
I mean, you got guys like Booty in New England. I mean, even Stephon Diggs in New England. I mean, yeah, he would be one that I'd have a hard time starting if I had other options. I mean, Tez Johnson. I mean, I think there's a lot better options out there. And to your point, the 2 touchdowns clearly saved his week because those 3 catches for 29 yards amount to nothing. But and to your point, they have Bryce Young. I mean, they've played a little bit better, but he's just not been consistent enough in terms of passing. They've been excellent running the ball, been great, clearly, but the passing game is definitely lacking. So definitely a good sit this week.
And staying in the Carolina Jets game,
Yeah,
my start of the week at tight end, I'm going back to the well.
you are.
Mason Taylor.
You're
He
not
burned me
dumb.
last week. His 0.7 points in my guillotine league killed
Yeah,
me.
let me pull up that text again.
Oh, come on. What'd I say?
It wasn't nice about Mason
No.
Taylor.
God. He had a rough week. Only got one target, but this week is different. I think.
You think?
No Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
He's facing the Panthers, who have allowed the second most points to tight ends. 4 tight ends have scored 11.9 PPR points or more. I feel like this is going to be a bounce back game for Taylor, partially because he's got no one else to throw to.
Good point. Can I read your text?
Yeah, let's hear
it. And where TF is Mason Taylor in this game? Where the you know what, folks, is Mason Taylor in this game? Well, I'm laughing. He's got a chance to rebound for you. You giving him another chance. What happens if he doesn't produce this week? Are you done with him forever? You casting him off?
He's going to be tough to start for a couple weeks until Garrett Wilson's back and we see a little forward progress from the Jets offense.
All right. Well, that's forward progress. How about a step in the right direction?
I need a couple steps.
Yeah, they're not good. My start of the week is, a blast from the past is Zach Ertz. All reliable against the Cowboys this week. I feel like he's a start. Again, another case of a guy not with great stats, but I like the matchup against a not so good Cowboys defense. Just to another point, I don't really have a lot of stats on this guy, but this one just feels right. I know Jayden Daniels likes to throw to Ertz in the red zone, so it could be kind of a T-Mac deal where he gets 3 catches for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. And if that's the case, he's a good play this week against the Cowboys defense that we know is suspect. So I would feel confident if I had a guy on a bye starting Zach Ertz this week against the Cowboys. So, yeah, there we are.
I like it.
I'll go into my sit of the week, and obviously, for obvious reasons for me, it's George Kittle. He is tight end number 4. Blake, when's the last time George Kittle played this year? Was it week 2, 1?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. I know he's coming back off an injury, but he's been out for several weeks with a hamstring, and he's tight end number 4. That smells fishy to me. Seems awful high again for a guy who's not played all year. Hamstrings can be tricky. He's going against a Falcons D that has allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points to tight end. So not only is he coming back from injury, the matchup is not really good, and also he's got guys out. So who is Atlanta gonna key on? It ain't gonna. I mean, who do they have? Again, I harken back to McCaffrey and Yeah, well, he's been playing well. I'll give you that.
Get a good game.
But at the end of the day, especially Atlanta, I mean, again, I said this at the beginning of the year. I thought Atlanta would make some noise, and I thought their defense would be better. It was on full display against Buffalo. They got after Josh Allen. They got pass rushers. So what that says to me is they're going to get after San Francisco's offensive line and quarterback Mac Jones. And I just think right away, I know you have to start him because it's George Kittle, but man, I would have a hard time expecting anything out of George Kittle this week of substance.
And the one unknown that we have,
yeah,
we've never seen him play with Mac Jones.
Good point.
So you talk about chemistry. You talk about who they have worked with. He probably has not worked with Mac Jones until
this week. Yeah. Yep. Interesting. Good point.
So does Mac Jones look to him, or does he keep going to
Bourne
and Jennings?
Yeah, and McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We know that's going to happen. Ooh,
my sit of the week at tight end. I can't get on board with this guy. I know he continues to put up points, but I just cannot get on board.
Was he my sit of the week last week? Did I sit him last week? I
don't know.
Yeah, but I agree.
The most touchdown dependent fantasy player ever.
Mark Andrews.
No, this is more than that. Darren Waller. 2 of his 3 games he's played, he hasn't even hit 28 yards receiving.
Oh.
Last week, he had 2 catches for 12 yards.
Oh.
But he did get 1 in the end zone. So he's had a touchdown in every single game so far. This week he's facing the Dolphins. I'm sorry, he's facing the Browns. They're middle of the road against tight ends, allowing 8 points a game, 5 catches, 49 yards. But Andrews, Kraft, Laporta, and Hawkinson all put up goose eggs on the touchdown side of things. So Mr. Touchdown Dependent might not get his touchdown this week. And if you've got him in your starting lineup, there's better options.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, I think I had him as my sit last week. So we're back to back with Mr. Waller. I think we know, like, touchdown dependent even more than Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I can't believe you admitted that.
So looking ahead to get ahead of the waiver wire. So you probably find somebody this week that you could start over Darren Waller on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Folks, listen to this. This is important. Blake's got some stuff. Like, this is, if you don't listen to this, if you don't listen to anything we say, this is probably the most important part of the segment in terms of what's ahead of you coming up.
Look ahead to your matchup next week. Look at your lineup next week and figure out who's on bye. What holes do you have to fill? Because they're coming. And if you wait until waiver wire this week, meaning Tuesday night, heading into week 8, you're going to be in a bidding war and you might not get your spots filled. This is Bipocalypse. This is the first one of the season. We got 6 teams that are out. At quarterback, you've got Goff, Darnold, and Stafford. Running back, you got Gibbs, Monty, Kyron, Genty, and Etienne. Wide receiver, you got Puka, Devontae Adams, JSN, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oof.
And a tight end, you've got McBride, Laporta, and Bowers. Oof. Some of those players are in your starting lineup.
Yeah.
And you might not have the depth at a certain position to fill it. So look ahead, see what you've got coming up. Go hit the waiver wire today, Saturday, tomorrow, Sunday, before the games kick off, and fill the voids.
Quickly.
Yes.
Quickly. You actually probably should have started a couple weeks ago, but hey,
I brought it up last week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I started I was like, oh yeah, I got to start looking at it. I mean, I did. I really scoured the last couple of weeks. I've been scouring the waiver wire just in case, because there's about 5 guys on this list I have in various leagues. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need a replacement. But as we talked about, it's coming. It's here. So plan accordingly, fanatics, because the last thing you want to be is caught with nothing in the cookie jar.
That's right.
And take an L because you didn't hit the waiver wire. If nothing else, just put somebody in who you think. I mean, take a chance. You may luck up and he may have the game of his life, but you got to be very aware of the guys that are on buys heading into week 8.
So, well, one player you might want to keep an eye on this week that I'm a believer in is Alec Pierce.
Oh,
Alec Pierce.
Okay.
Because Josh Downs is out.
Concussion.
Alec Pierce is back.
Yep.
He's going to be on waiver wires. He's going to be available. He hasn't had a big game yet this year.
Yeah, he's a boomer bust.
This week, no Josh Downs. Get him before the getting's good. If he has a big game, he's going to be a hot waiver wire commodity. And if you've got Puka, JSN, Amon-Ra, or Devontae, you might need a 1-week plug and play.
For sure. Ooh, we're getting into Survivor. We're getting the nitty gritty of Survivor. It's getting real.
Mm-hmm.
It is getting real.
It was fun adjusting our record so far, though, at 6-0 for both of us.
Yeah, we're doing all right. I'll go ahead and start with my safe pick. It's kind of to Blake's point, a contrarian pick, some would say. I've got the Bears over the New Orleans Saints in Chicago. They're 4.5-point favorites, and only 16% have picked these guys, the Bears. The win probability, Blake, is 70% this week. I am riding Caleb and Ben Johnson. I'm riding that wave. I'm on the bandwagon. I was never off, but I'm really on it now. In terms of the Saints, last year in outdoor games, they were 2-7. So far in 2025, they are 0-2, and they play in Chicago. I think the weather will be a factor for what I understand in terms of rain, wind, things like that. It's a perfect setup for the folks in Chicago. So give me the Bears this week over the Saints. Contrarian pick. Total. Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't bust the old 6-0 undefeated streak.
Settle
Going
down.
contrarian.
Settle down. Settle down.
I'm not far off. I'm a little behind. I'm a more contrarian pick than you are, in fact. I chose the Broncos over the Giants.
Oh.
They're favored by 7. They are the 5th highest popular pick at 3.6%, behind Kansas City, Pittsburgh, New England, and Chicago. They have a 75% win probability, though. And while Dart and Scatabo have been a ton of fun to watch and have the New York Giants fans excited, huge win against the Eagles last week, right? But I think they're going to have some real struggles this week with the Broncos defense. My only concern for this game is how the Broncos offense looked last week overseas. They looked bad against the Jets. Bad. Yeah. But they're the home team this week. Big time defense. You said defense travels. Well, they don't have to travel. Yep. Might be a close one. Might not cover the 7 points, but I do think the Broncos win this game.
Agreed. I have no reason to think the Broncos would lose this game. I think they, again, the one thing about football is when you play bad and win, you're pissed off because you played bad. So I expect Denver to play pissed off. I think the Giants, I mean, you know, they got a young team. So what comes with being a young team? The ups and downs. They won against the Saints. The Saints are not the Broncos. They won on the road. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They lost on the road. Sorry. So, yeah, they don't necessarily know how to play on the road yet. It's a whole different animal when you're in Denver, the mile-high air, the noise. So, yeah, feel pretty good about Broncos over Giants.
And if I remember from last week, I don't think the Broncos have allowed a rushing touchdown at home.
I don't believe so either. I think that stat came up. Yep.
For my caution pick, it's the Patriots over the Titans.
What?
I know.
What?
For another instance where I really don't think there will be a massive upset.
Okay.
But it could be. It could happen. Pats are favored by 6.5 with a 72% win probability. This is the second most popular pick at 22.2%.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans fired their head coach. Like we talked about, who knows what changes are going to be made? Will these players come out fired up to win? Dare I say, maybe we consider another rule, Jason.
Or was this
a forgotten rule because we lost our notepad from the old working days? Maybe this was a rule already.
Well, we have it documented now.
Playing for a new coach. You remember when the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels, Jason?
Correct. Yes, I do.
They were 3-5 and it only scored more than 18 points in one game. Enter Antonio Pierce, and all of a sudden they put up a 30-burger and beat the Giants 30-6. And I realized we're talking the NFL, but what about UCLA?
Ooh, you speak about language. College.
They lost to UNLV, New Mexico, and Northwestern. And then a coaching change happens. They score 80 points in 2 games and beat Penn State and Michigan State.
Bye-bye, James Franklin.
So, yes, which was about time.
Yeah.
He couldn't win in big games. But I digress. Coaching changes, new quarterbacks. Maybe we just throw in a new rule. This is the caution pick. Be careful.
Couple things. New rule is definitely going in for next year. So we will remember this because we'll have to circle back. And I've said this before. Like the Titans, they've already beat Arizona.
Yep.
That game was wild. Like that was a crazy game. I said the Titans are going to beat some teams. Like, it's going to screw up Survivor, and this could be the perfect team that we talked about. Like, hey, Patriots, Vrabel coming in. They got all this offense. Drake May is on fire, playing the best ball of his career. And all of a sudden, Tennessee comes out of nowhere and beats them. So while I was a little skeptical, it makes perfect sense according to the rules we have. It makes sense. So very, very cautionary pick, Patriots over Titans. Mine is another one that you might want to be careful about. It's Green Bay over Arizona. Green Bay's win probability right now, Blake, is at 70%. Seems like somewhat of a slam dunk, right? Well, yeah. That's why they play the game. Green Bay got by the Bengals. That game was close in the second half. and we know what the Bengals did against the Steelers. They tied the Cowboys 3 weeks ago. And my point is, if you kind of peel back the onion, the Packers are kind of ripe for an upset this week in the desert. The Cardinals started 2-0, have lost 4 in a row, and granted, in some strange ways that we don't have enough time to go over how they lost. They are due to have something good happen. This one will be close, and this one you want to keep your eye on. Similar to Patriots Titans.
Last week, I thought for sure Indy was going down.
Yeah, they're close. They're close. So Green Bay, if you're thinking Green Bay, Arizona, be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, I mean Marvin Harrison cleared concussion protocol.
Yeah, he's back. Yep.
I don't know if Murray's starting or not, but I don't think it matters because
no.
Who started last week for him?
Jacoby Brissett
looks good.
He looked great. He looked really good coming off the bench, but definitely want to keep an eye on.
Yep.
The social media stuff is kind of we've been getting some questions, man. I kind of like it. This fantasy advice page
on the fantasy advice page. Fantasy football advice. Search it up on Facebook. We're getting some great questions out there. Lots of good dialogue. Couple a week. Throw your questions out. Offer your opinions, insight.
Yep.
Join us.
We will answer.
Fantasy football advice. Does it have an exclamation point or not, Jason? Do you remember?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe it does either.
Yep.
I'll take a quick peek and I'll give you an answer right now. No, fantasy football advice. No exclamation point.
Awesome. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it first here, folks. Get on. Post your questions. We will answer them and give you a little bit of advice in terms of what we think. We're usually pretty much aligned. Yeah.
It's not just us.
No, it's other people.
We got a group of folks and it's growing daily with good questions and people are chiming in with their answers. So you get more insight than just from the Sunday Funday guys.
Keep them coming, folks. Anything else, brother?
That's it.
Well, fanatics, that's a wrap for this episode of the Sunday Funday Fantasy Football Podcast. And fanatics, remember to make this Sunday your fun day. Sunday Funday guys out.